Alright, this video is basically to show that I have successfully hacked my Wii and added the homebrew channel to it, which is, let's see here, this guy right here. It will be hacked on a system with the firmware 4.2U. I'll show you that here. I assume the U stands for United States, or maybe United Kingdom if you were in Britain or something. But there's that. I'll go back to the main screen here. I'll go ahead and load this up just to show you kind of the capabilities of it and what exactly it does. I use it mainly as a SNES emulator. You can use it for other things too, playing movies, DOS-based things, pretty much whatever you can think of or whatever they have an application for. That's really up to you. Let this start up here. Sometimes it takes a moment. I will note that if you do this hack, the Wii is kind of picky when it comes to SD cards. I actually had to go out and buy a 2 gig one. It worked best for what I was using it for, and there's lists online where you can see what the best SD cards are. This is what the menu looks like right here. If you load it up without putting any applications on it, it'll just be a blank screen. The only one you really need is this guy right here. He's called the Homebrew Browser, and basically what he does is lets you search for apps and stuff like that, almost like a Google thing for your Wii for applications. You can get anything on there from emulators, games, demos, things like Wii MC or Gecko. Gecko lets you run games that aren't US made, basically, on the system and overrides any of the software that prevents it from doing that. VBA is emulator for Game Boy Advance games, Game Boy Color games, Game Boy games, etc. They have a Genesis one on here. I just haven't downloaded it yet. But the main one I use is this one right here, which is SNES 9XGX. And we'll load this up just to kind of show you exactly what it does. As I said before, it's just an SNES emulator, but you can play it on a big TV. Now, I went ahead and loaded almost every single English-made SNES game onto my SD card and put it on here. It would probably be better if you organized them by letter or genre, just to make browsing easier, but for sake of the matter, and I was kind of in a hurry and somewhat lazy, I just stuck them all in there. Now, one thing to note about this is if you do use this and put this on here, you have to have them unzipped. They have to be the .smc file, or else the emulator won't be able to read them. But like I said before, I've pretty much got, I would say at least 500 plus games on here. Everything from Super Mario to Legend of Zelda, and even some old Japanese games that never came out to the US but have been translated, and you're able to play them. A good example of that is the original Star Ocean, if you're familiar with Rare games. Star Ocean 2 was more of a hit here for PlayStation 1. I have that game, and it was a very good game, and Star Ocean, the original one, is just as good, if not better. Anyway, I'm going to boot that up just to show you that it does work, and we can play it. I use the classic controller here. This is probably the best thing for these emulators. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you pick one up. It just connects to your remote like that, just like the nunchuck would. The game's booting up here. And of course, there you go, English version of it. You can play this or pretty much anything else you want to on these emulators. I haven't had a problem with it yet. The only issue I've ran into is that there is a newer version of the Wii firmware out there. I don't know how well the hacks would work on there. Apparently they still do. You might need a certain game to do it, though. A lot of them looks like either Twilight Princess, Super Smash Brothers, Lego Indiana Jones, and they're named respectively. Anyway, I just thought I'd show what I did here, just as a reference for myself, as well as just something cool I did with this that I was able to do. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or need any help in possibly doing this yourself, just give me a comment, leave me a video message, or any other way to contact me. It'd be easy enough. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.